Hi guys. Hey guys, what's up? Let me know that you're hearing me and how the volume is. I have my volume all the way up on 100%. So let me know you can hear me. Hi Boss Life Online, how are you? How's the volume? Can you hear me? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, you can hear me? Oh, great. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Welcome to the Saturday Talks. Today's Saturday Talks is going to be on a really important discussion. Today's topic is going to be, hey Lala, how are you doing? Welcome. Oh, you're at work? Well, thanks for being here as long as you can. Thanks for being here. So today's topic is going to be declarations or confessions. And my co-host today for Saturday Talk is going to be Cli&Mils TV. So I'm going to invite her up so we can get started. Let me add her to the stream. Hey.
Hi. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever time you're watching.
Right.
Good to everyone.
Yeah. So tell everybody, first of all, who you are and where you're located.
I'm Princess Clayton, Queen of Hearts and Smile. When I said I laugh always instead of smiling. Okay, so I'm actually based in Thailand, but I'm a Southern Cameroonian. I'm based in
Right.
Thailand at the moment. I teach English. I'm a journalist, on air personality, a motivational speaker, and a humanitarian. That's basically me. I just love doing good and making people believe in themselves and be their best versions. That's exactly what I do. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So you're a busy lady, huh?
Yeah, sort of.
A little bit.
I make it easy to make people get the best of themselves. Okay. That I'm available every time.
Right. Hold on one second. I welcome everybody in the chat.
Okay. Oh, I
Okay.
can see that live. That's my great leader. I can see my bestie in the chat.
Yeah,
Yay.
Bestie is here. And leave it to Lala. She's at work, but she's here. So
Oh my goodness. That's so sweet.
yeah,
Hi.
isn't it sweet? Yes, leave it to Lala. That's my booski.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Did you tell everybody where you're located at?
Network, not now.
Oh no. Oh, I see you.
Yeah, okay. I'm in Thailand. I'm based in Thailand at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
And for me, that is the reason why we decided to do it a day earlier because I usually do it's on Sunday, but it would be
Uh-huh.
what time? Your time, like 2 a.m. on
Yeah.
Monday?
And I have to prepare for work, so that was kind of hard for me.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. So I said, okay, I'll be nice since it is Princess. It's
Oh, I'm
Princess.
blushing right now.
Are you are you blushing?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's an honor, and I don't take it for granted. I'm really, really glad you had to do this, shift a whole program, shift everybody's time zone and time frame and whatever just for me. Yeah, like I'm feeling
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, because you're special. That's why.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So, it wasn't my idea, guys. This idea of the topic for today comes from Cli&Mils TV, and tell them about the topic.
Okay, so the topic, it depends on you how you're going to call it. It's confessions. but you can call it declarations as well. So, or spoken words,
Mhm.
basically. So, confessions, dedications, or spoken words, whichever way you choose to call it, that's fine. They all mean the same thing, basically.
Right. They all mean the same thing. I'm going to remove this.
Hi,
And the
Bobo. Hi,
volume is good.
hi,
Welcome,
living your
everybody in the chat.
oh, hi, leave it with Lala. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, Leave It to Lala is here, Boss Life Online. So, today's topic is going to be about declarations, confessions, whatever it is that you want to call it. So, we're
Mm.
going to talk about it from each of our perspectives. I'm going to let Cli&Mils, you tell me what you think declarations or confessions is from your side.
Okay. So, to me, declarations or confessions are things you say. And I believe that things you say have a lot to do with how your life turns out, or things people say to you as well when you're not conscious. Because I realized sometimes, even when we're at home, like when we're kind of younger, when someone says something negative to us, if my mom is around, she instantly cancels it out. Like if someone says, "You're stupid," she says she is beautiful, she's awesome, she's not stupid, she's smart. She cancels it instantly. She doesn't wait for after or something. She says she doesn't like it. And I realized that it really worked. But I didn't know about it then. I knew about it when I grew older, because I started deciding to consciously make positive confessions myself. I decided to start making it consciously. It's not a conscious thing, because trust me, there are going to be times where you feel like that's not what you want to say. That's not how you feel. You want to tell people or talk about how you feel. You just want to rant. You want to say things. So it has to be a conscious thing. But just like every other thing, practice doesn't only make perfect, it makes champions. So when you start doing it for over and over and over, it becomes a part of you. Like you just don't know how not to confess positive. You
Right.
just don't know how not to say positive things. So I believe that confessions are things you say, and having the understanding that things you say have an impact in your life, they're going to be a part of your life. You need to be conscious while saying them. You need to be so conscious. I always say sometimes that I'd rather not say anything than say something that I can take back.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I would rather not say something than say something that I can take back. um some guy, I read of a story somewhere. There was this guy who used to really have anger problems. He really had anger problems. And so his dad told him, he noticed that it was really getting to him. And so he told his dad, and his dad gave him a recommendation. His dad said something like this: each time you feel angry, he gave him a beautiful wall, like well fixed, well arranged, and everything. Gave him a nail, gave him a hammer, and told him that each time you feel anger, hold it back. Don't speak. Hold it back. Just go to the wall and drive a nail into the wall. So use that energy, redirect the energy to driving nails into the wall. And this guy kept doing that for a really long time, and the wall was really filled up with nails. And he was like, okay, Dad, I've kind of gotten used to the fact that when I'm angry, I don't talk, I don't do nothing. I just put that energy on something. So he said he wanted to put the energy to good things now. So the dad said, okay, each time you get angry, go remove one of those nails from the wall. That's something good, right? You want to take off all the nails because you want to take off the hurt.
Right.
And he kept taking off the nails. And when he was done, there were holes on the wall. The wall could never be the same again. It wasn't as it was when the dad gave him. That was the lesson. It was clear. If those were words you were saying to people, you're coming to take them back. Like you're telling me, oh, I'm sorry. The scars are going to be there. They're never going to go away. They're going to be there. So those nails he drove into the wall, were like words that he should have spoken to people when he was mad. And now he's taking them off, which is like he's going back to these people to apologize to them. He couldn't take it back totally
Yeah, you
because
can't.
there were already scars on the wall. You see, so those things happen. I read of another story where there was this man who said something negative about a certain person in an entire village. He was walking around and telling them and all that, and then at some point the man got so mad and he sued the man to court. He took the man to court, and when they went to court, this is what was told. The judge said the guilty person should go ahead and write everything that he said about the man on a piece of paper. And when he's going home, if he can do everything that he tells him to do, he'll be vindicated. So he says, when you're going home, tear those papers to shreds, like to pieces, just tear them off and you throw them away. And then you come back to the court the next day. So he came back to the court the next day, and the judge told him, if you can go back and pick every piece of paper and put it back together and bring it to me, you're not guilty. And he said that was impossible. Of course, that's exactly what happens with words. When you spread them out, you really can't take them back.
Right.
It's that serious. So when I understood the seriousness of the power of the tongue, I knew I had to consciously make it a part of me. It's not just me, because sometimes when we talk about positive confessions, people think that it just has to deal with you. It just has to do with you, the individual. Say positive things to yourself, say positive things about yourself. No, it has to do with people as well. I like I'm saying, I remember sometimes there are parents that are going to insult their kids. I had an encounter, I think 2 days ago or yesterday, with someone, and the person kept saying, this kid is very naughty. This child is very naughty. I'm like, when you keep saying that, the child is going to keep being naughty because it's not them who is doing it. It's the words that you're giving life to about his life that is making it happen continuously.
Right.
So you need to say what you want to see. It's the same like this scripture in the Bible that says, and now let the weak say I'm strong, let the poor say I'm rich. Like, it sounds like a lie, right? But it's
Mm.
a seed that is sown. Because your words have power, that's why it says, say it. With the heart you believe, with the mouth confession is made. You need to confess it for
Right.
it to work. You need to give life to that thing. After you've thought about it, yes, you need to speak it. So when you speak it, I don't know how many people would get to say hello to me and they don't hear me say great, awesome, doing, I'm super duper. And like, people already just know that. And then they go asking me, like, do you have problems?
Right.
Because of the confession. When you keep making those confessions, you keep having that. You keep having it. There are days that I wake up and it feels like it's not that kind of day. I tell myself this day is going to be beautiful. I don't care how I feel right now. I don't care what is going on. This is going to be a beautiful day. It turns out beautiful. I'm a living testimony. I'm a product of a product. So I'm not just saying this because I want to just encourage people to confess positive or to make positive declarations. I am living it. Like, I am living it. And the truth is, the things we say about ourselves, the things people say to us, and that we listen and meditate on, it enlarges and materializes. It does. It really does. So we need to be very, very careful what we say to people, what we say to ourselves, what we say about ourselves, because it happens. My today is a number of things I said some days back, or months back, or weeks back about
Mhm.
myself. What I'm leaving today is most of those things I said. So, how do I want my tomorrow to look like?
Right.
Is what I should be saying today.
Mhm.
What I should be saying today is what I want my tomorrow to look like. So, confessions are just things you say. And with the power that is in the tongue, that you can use it to build and to destroy, you want to build, you don't want to destroy. And I would just ask the question logically. So let's just say we forget the Bible. Let me put it that way. Let's just say we forget the Bible. Logically speaking, would you want to say good things or bad things? Like, if
Oh,
you're
good.
given the opportunity and asked,
Good.
what would you like to say all the time? Oh, of course. I would love to say good things all the time. I would love to do good things all the time. So it's just logical. So someone says it's not just about positive confession, it's about adding this, adding that, adding that. But yes, as much as it's not just about positive confession, would you rather confess negatively because you think confessions don't work? Of
Right.
course
It.
not.
I feel like it's about what you declare over your life, because I can speak from my position.
Yeah,
You had people declaring positivity over your life. You had your mom to declare positivity over your life,
yeah,
but I didn't grow up in that atmosphere. That was something that I learned when I became grown. So I grew up in a negative thinking process, to always think people were against me. I always grew up thinking I was stupid. So that I had to learn, through therapy and other people in my life who were positive, I had to relearn. So I'm speaking to all those who didn't come from a positive background or a positive atmosphere. You can confess and speak and declare positivity over your life. It doesn't
yeah,
matter who it is in your life, trying to say things to bring you down and to break your spirit. But first, you yourself have to believe that you are deserving of the
yeah,
best of everything. I think it starts there. You have to believe
yeah,
you're deserving of good and positive things. And then you have to speak what you believe. It starts with faith in yourself. That
yeah,
I believe that I deserve X, Y, and Z. I deserve love. I deserve goodness. I deserve positivity. I deserve the best of everything. So then those thoughts become actions. So when you have those thoughts, then you start saying, oh, because I want good for myself, I'm amazing. I could do anything that I want to do. I'm smart. Thoughts become actions. So that's why it's so important what you declare over your life, and not just you yourself. A
yeah,
lot of people don't understand that you have the ability to either impact or detract from somebody's life. You can
yeah.
add or you can subtract. You can make somebody's life better, or you can make somebody's life worse. I All the time.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, that part of when you didn't grow in that environment and then all those things. And one thing I got to notice was most of the times the way your life is, those are the kind of people you attract. I realized it because there was a time I actually got into depression and all that. Yeah, that was me who came out from a jolly, fairly good background. But at some point in time, peer pressure, you're always more concerned about what your friends are saying, what they're thinking. And so
Right.
when they're thinking all these negative things about you, you kind of just believe them. And when you believe them, you start saying that about yourself. Well, I'm not enough. I'm not this. And then you start noticing that you're not all those things you're saying, because
Right.
it really, really works. I don't know how much I can emphasize it. It really works. At some point, I also had to go for therapy. It's very important.
Mhm.
Basically, in some African countries, going for therapy feels like a taboo. It feels like a bad thing. Like they
Yeah.
make it look like a bad thing. You're going for therapy? Like they
Mhm.
make it look like a bad thing. So people need help and they're not going to get help because they don't want to be tagged like someone who went for this, someone who went through this. If it's going to make you a better person, why not? It's not about what people say. A lot of people have a lot going on with them. A lot of people try to make you look bad to feel good about themselves. A lot of things happen in the world. So the person you should be much more concerned about is yourself for a start. Because if you're not, you can't give what you don't have. So you can't even start confessing good to other people when you can't even do that to yourself. So
Right.
just like living your best life said, you have to start it with yourself. You have to believe it. You have to confess it. At some point, I even went for a certain training, and they told us to be writing. I was trying to look for the book. If I have my book around here, I have a little book, and they say write everything about yourself. Write it, write it, write it out. Like when you read it again, it also has an effect, the visual effects of it. That's why people make vision boards and stuff like that. So you keep seeing it and you keep seeing it and saying it. You keep seeing it and saying it. And then it just becomes a part of you. At some point, I used to say things like, "How are you doing today?" Some people say things like, "Oh, it's a bad day," and then you just notice your day is bad.
Right.
You just realize your day is bad, and then I say it's a great day. How are you today? Far above principalities and powers. My friends used to be really angry, mad at me when I say that, but at some point, they knew I would say it regardless. So they started saying it along with me. So when they ask me questions like how far, I'm like far above. They'll finish it for me. Principalities and powers seated in heavenly places. you know, and it was cool. They started doing it as fun, and then at some point they started liking it, so they'll say it as well. Like when I ask the how far question, they also say exactly the same thing. They started it like fun, but it became very beautiful. It became very awesome. So we really need to be careful about the things we say about ourselves. Truth is, environment can add to it. People around you, the people you surround yourself with, can add to it. um
Right.
mine mine got to the point where I was feeling low about myself. I had low self-esteem. Everybody was shocked because I was never that kind of person, and I've always been the person who's just out there. Like I'm an extrovert, so I'm like all over. But at that point, I became so introverted. Everybody was shocked, but my smile wasn't going to go away. That was like my escape
Right.
route. I'll always smile. I'll always laugh. Always try to make fun in places. But I was hurting deep within. And so when I went for therapy, everybody was like, "Therapy? Really? What are you going? What do you need a counselor for? What do you need? You need help. When you need help, go for help." So sometimes it's not just only the confessions, it's the environment, the energy that is resonating in an environment. It can actually get you to that kind of place. So to you need to consciously do what you have to do. I had to consciously get some people off my space. I had to
Right.
consciously get some people off my space because I wasn't going to heal with those people being around there and bringing all the negativity and all the drama that they were bringing to my life. It it is hard work. So let me put it that way,
Right.
because some people think it's just like a walk in the park. And so when they start it up and it doesn't seem so easy, they'll be like, "Oh, Princess said this, but it doesn't work." It works. You have to work. You have to make it work. You have to work for it to work. At some
Mhm.
point, like I said, it's going to become a part of you, but you have to start working it from somewhere. How many
Right.
times you're going to feel, oh, yes, there are times you're going to so freaky feel like before you realize you've said a lot of those negative things already, or you've done a lot of like that. But you have to just keep telling yourself, I got this. I got this. I'm the best. I'm an amazing person. I am favored of God. I'm beautiful. I'm smart. And it's just going to work. When you say those things and you become those things slowly, those kind of people are going to be attracted to you. It's just
Right.
obvious.
Right.
I
It's
like I
like
said,
a magnet.
yeah. I say it and I always say those kinds of people attract to you because when I was in the depressive state and I was feeling low about myself, I was feeling bad about myself, I used to get all these negative compliments, which were not so before the state I got into. It wasn't like that. Everybody used to tell me, "Oh, you're smart, you're beautiful, you're nice, you're caring, you're loving," and all that. But when I got into that depressive state, it all changed. Did I go tell the people that I was depressed? No. It's just the energy you're pulling. It's just the way you're pulling people to whoever you get to be. Those are the kinds of people you're going to pull to yourself.
Right.
Not entirely. I'm not saying there are no negative people that are going to come close to you, but it's not going to be as strong as. It's just like a light bulb, right? A light bulb, they're very awesome. It gives light, but there are some funny insects that will come poke on the light, stay on
Yeah.
the light, and stuff like that. But it's not as much as the brightness of the light in the room, like that.
Mhm.
So, whatever you get to be comes mostly by saying. what God says about you.
Right.
When you say the things and believe the things God says about you and you keep saying them to yourself, it's going to change your life forever. I
I
am a
I
living
think I think 100% that it's first you have to believe it, then you have to trust God's process in your life, because you can't just, it's something out there. You can't just say, I love myself or I want good things for myself if you don't believe that you're deserving of it or you're not ready to take action. Because there's a lot of things that we may want in our lives, but are we really taking the action to get those results? You could always say, I want this, I want to do this, I want to be that, but what are you doing to proclaim it over your life? You have to walk
yeah.
in what you want.
I remember a story of this guy. What's his name again? I forgot his name. And he kept saying he needed, when he was doing evangelism, he needed a bicycle. He wanted to use a bicycle to be going around to evangelize to people. And so he said he started telling his friends he has a bicycle. And everybody thought he was crazy. He had gone bonkers. And when they asked him where's the bicycle, he says he's pregnant with the bicycle. He's soon going to deliver the baby bicycle. Like that. That's how much his faith could carry him. And he said someone, like an anonymous person, just sent him a bicycle to his mail and said they had it in their spirit for them to send him that. Probably
Mhm.
if he wasn't confessing it, he wouldn't really exercise the faith as much. So it's like, more or less, when you're making these confessions, it's like, I believe that this is going to happen. So I'm telling people about it. It's just the same. If I buy a new phone today, I'm going to be showing everybody, right? Oh, see my phone. It's so beautiful and everything. That's what faith is. And making those confessions is. You're telling people that you have this thing already, even when you cannot see it physically, because you're bringing it from the spirit realm with manifestation to the physical. So how things get manifested in the physical that are already in the spirit realm is by speaking them. You give life to it.
Right. I would say something Calvin said in the chat. He loves the new talk show and having special people
I
coming
love
on
it.
here. So you're special, Princess. So thanks for coming to the show and thanks for your comment, Calvin.
So very much. Confessions are really important. I also remember a time where I was I got on YouTube, so I was here for like 3 years, but I seemingly was not moving anywhere. And then I met Gio. Oh my God, Gio is like one really, really awesome person to me. I really can explain it, but I talk about her all the time, and sometimes
Yeah,
I'm sure
you know how
people.
I feel about her. You know how I feel about her. Everybody knows I never shut up about Gio. Always talking about her.
Some people kind of get irritated about it, like, why do you keep talking about Gio? Like, they can't understand. Well, I can't help it. So when I got on here and she was like, Princess, I believe in you. You can do it. Mm, is she just trying to push me to do this thing? Or she kept
Right.
saying it. And boom, there I was on YouTube Live. I was just freaking out. I don't know what was stopping me from doing YouTube Live. I really don't know. I've been talking to people, I've been talking at events and everything. But going YouTube Live was just one thing that was just freaking me out for some reason. Till date, I've really not placed my mind on why I could not go live on YouTube. I really could not place my mind on it. And Gio was like, "You're gonna go live. You're gonna go live here. You're like." She just pushes you to do all the best and amazing things that you can get to do. And look at me today. This is me live talking. If someone is told that, is it 5 or 6 months ago, I could not come live. No, about 6 months ago, yeah.
Wow.
Come live on YouTube, no one is gonna believe it. Like, I was just uncomfortable. That
Mm,
is thanks to the effects and the confessions and the declarations and the push from Gio. So,
right.
as much as it is about yourself, the people that surround you can actually get you there. I remember another time where I was almost getting monetized. I was almost on my way to getting monetized, and I was feeling a little bit worked up. I was feeling exhausted. YouTube kept cutting my watch hours. My goodness. Bosley Kevin Jr. came into my live stream that day. There was just so much life in the live stream. Like, we're just like five of us, and people were just so quiet. And then he got into the live stream. He just brought life to the live stream. He started making fun things. He was telling us stories. That's someone who is doing something good and saying something good to me while he's supposed to be resting or doing. So, as much as it's about you, there are some times that the people around you trigger you to be that best person. They trigger you, they
Right.
push you to be that best person. He pushed me that day really much. And after the live stream, I felt really proud of myself for the things I did. But how did I do those things? Because he came in there and told me to do them. And he kept pushing. He told me he was going to be there. He was going to stay in the live stream till I get to finish editing my videos, till I get to upload them, till this
Mhm.
live stream gets done. He's going to be there. He could be any place else. He could be doing
Right.
anything else. But he decided to be there to push me. Gio could choose just about any other person. She knows she's connected to a whole lot of people who probably can do this. But hey, she just said it's going to be you and you're going to do it. You have no excuses. I'm not giving you an option not to believe in yourself. You're going to do
Right.
it. I'm not giving you an option to become mediocre. Bozo Kevin Jr. says you are going to do it. And
Right.
I did it. And hey,
Right.
I was proud of myself for
Yeah,
that.
you are.
Yeah, so surrounding yourself with the right people as well is key. It is
Yes.
very important. It is
I,
very important.
I say all
Very,
the
very
time,
important.
I say all the time that it's so important who you call, I call them accountability partners, people who hold you accountable. Like when you want to, like, okay, say you're dragging your feet, because I'll be honest, I'm an avid procrastinator. Boss Life Online knows that I'm an avid procrastinator. I'm always dragging my feet. And she's like, why don't you just do it? And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And she's like, when? So I'm a person that I'm gonna do it. But I think sometimes I go through the doubting myself, like, is this a good idea? Because I don't want to be a person to just quickly make a decision and then I say, oh, that was not a good decision to make. So I like to think about things maybe longer than I should.
Probably a perfectionist. You want to
Yeah.
do it perfectly.
I wouldn't
Failing is
like
part of.
I like to put my best foot forward when I do something.
I used to be like that too. Like I can so plan a project that I might eventually not even do it because I took all the time spending on planning it and not doing anything. Failing is part of the process. And the truth is, it's a 50-50. You could fail and you could get it. So, just for the fact that you have a 50% of being able to get it, why not just go ahead and do it?
Right.
You will
And
fail. I learned something from Lisa Nichols. I follow her a lot and she's really amazing. Um, she said, you fail forward. So, failing forward is like not failing at all. And this is what
Mhm.
she means by failing forward. You fail forward as in when you do something and it doesn't turn out right, you learn how not to do it. So you have extra information that
Mhm.
someone who is starting all over doesn't have. So you learned. We
Right.
learn every day. So I remember this guy who did the fluorescent bulb. They asked him what kept pushing him up to almost 1,000 times to keep doing the bulb. He said he learned 1,000 times how not to do the bulb. He learned. That's still learning. When you fail, it's still learning. So I just learned how not to do this. Maybe when I wanted to do my live stream, I got on here and I mistakenly muted my mic and I was talking my heart out and thinking like, oh my God, I did this great. And then people are like, no sound, no sound. I don't even know what they're saying. I don't know what they're talking about. And then I go and then I get done with the live stream and I come back, I'm going to feel so bad. I would know exactly how not to do the live stream the next time. That is
Right.
knowledge gain.
Yes.
So the thing, most of the times we're afraid of what might not even happen.
Right.
So kept staying in our comfort zone of the planning stage, supposed planning stage, and
Planning.
preparation.
In
Yeah,
quotes, planning.
in
That's what
course,
Gio just said, planning and not doing anything.
we're not doing anything. And then we end up
Mhm.
not doing anything at all, you know.
Right.
So I used to be like that. And then when I learned that, when I heard her say that on one of her videos, she said, "That's you failing forward." I was like, "Oh yeah." So failing forward is not bad. It's staying there that makes it bad. When you fail,
Right.
it's okay. It's part of the process. Everybody fails from time to time. Sometimes you might do it, you might not do it the right way. Sometimes things make it happen like that. You know, you don't get it right the first time, but you know what to do and what not to do the next time. So go ahead and still doing it. Sometimes people plan like for forever, for forever. I used to be like
Me,
that.
me,
I just want
me,
it to be
me.
perfect. It has to be perfect. So I want this to be taken care of, this to be taken care of, this to be taken care of. And then at some point I might just get irritated about, especially it's a process or something that I have to do with a team. And then the people are not just getting it right. I might just get irritated at some point. I will finally not do the project anymore.
Right.
Yeah. But when I got accountability partners, which is very, very important, it changed.
Yeah.
Why? I know that God is everywhere. So we don't want to disappoint God. But sometimes we kind of slack on it because God is not going to whip you. Like He's not there to push you and push you and push you, push you, push you like that. But a human being is there to push you, push you, push you like that. So you don't want to disappoint that person. You don't want to be a disappointment. That's what is on my mind when I'm having to do something that I have to do that I don't want to procrastinate. I don't want to be a disappointment to this person. So let me just go ahead
Mm.
and do it.
That's
It
well, I'm
works.
I'm I'm definitely a person that I have to have dates and times when I
Yeah.
have to do things because everybody in my life knows. You said, please give her a date because I have to know when I'm going to do it, what day and what time. If I don't, then I'll say, okay, tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow then or Thursday.
Yeah, and that got me to a point where I used to do things in a hurry. Not like I don't deliver per se, but the truth is, if you would have spent more time to do that thing, you would do it better than you did it. It's not like you don't do it well. You do it well that everybody sees it and say this is awesome. But imagine if you didn't do it just on that last day. I used to be that kind of person. I'm like the kind of last minute person, you
Hmm.
know. So if you tell me today that I'm supposed to deliver on the 11th of October, I'll probably do it on the 10th of October at midnight or
Oh,
something like that. Yeah.
what? No, I'm not that bad. I'm not that bad.
And people are gonna be like, wow, you did great. And in my heart of hearts, I know that I should have done better than that great they're seeing if I did it probably on the ninth, or if I started doing it slowly today. You know, I've already been told that I'm delivering. And I went somewhere and someone was telling me that that's how some people are, that's how they are. Really? So it's not a bad thing. I'm like, no, I have a feeling that I can do better if I start earlier. But sometimes it just gets so hard for me to start from there. So surrounding yourself with the right people as well who also give you this kind of amazing confessions and amazing push is really, really, really important. That's where the accountability partners come in. You can get accountability partners for everything because sometimes it feels like when they say accountability partner, you think that it's just one person. There might be someone who will be strict with you on something that is pertaining to them, but not strict with you for other things. So you can get a number of accountability partners.
Right.
It might not necessarily be one. There might be that one that you tell them, okay, I have this thing to do and I need help. Please tell me about it. Like, call me out, ask me if I've done this or not. Sometimes they might be slack on you, they cut you some slack in something that is not really, really their thing. But when it's someone that is really, really their thing, they're going to push you to it and so push you that you
Right.
get it done. I mean, like Gio got me pushed until this is me. I'm on live on
Right.
YouTube. That would probably
See,
have been.
and guess what's different for me? I don't have a problem. I love lives. Lives give me no stress or anxiety. My stress comes from pre-recorded videos.
What?
I have so much. You guys don't even understand. When you see that pre-recorded video, that has been recorded about 17 times.
Yeah.
Cause I'll be
My
like, oh,
goodness.
I didn't like how, oh, the fan was in the background. Oh, this. I overanalyze things too much, or it was too dark, or my volume was too low, or I didn't like my blouse, or did I have something on my nose? I'm just
Okay, so what changed? What changed for me with that was I noticed that each time I re-record a message, it changed. It changed. I couldn't say it exactly like I said it the first time, and I just know, like I know that there is a part of that message that someone needs, and me trying to change it, not because of something that is so serious, is changing the whole message. That's how I
right.
stop. And the truth is, you notice it, but people would not. Those things you notice them, but people would not. I remember sometime I told someone, someone told me, "You're really good at this. I mean, I really, how do you edit your videos?" And I'm like, the only edit I do on my videos is when I'm going to turn off my camera and when I'm going to turn it on. When I'm going to turn on my camera and when I'm going to turn it on. And they're like, "What did you just say?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's about the highest kind of edit I do, aside from adding videos to my videos, adding intros and outros. That's the highest thing I do."
Oh
They're like,
wow.
"Are you serious?" Wait. Okay, just go and listen to this particular video and hear how I made a mistake. The person had already watched the video, they didn't notice it until I told them to go and watch it consciously. And for example, I'm recording a video right now and I say something like, "Oh, this is really a great live. We're talking about declaration. No, we're talking about submission. Oh, sorry, declaration." I won't take that out. I'm going to upload the video with that. I already had sorry declaration. So why do I need to take out the submission?
Right.
Like that. And I started uploading my videos, and that made me to have like tons of videos. If I decide not to record videos today, I would still post videos every Tuesday till the end of the year, and even like to about 6 months time. I have that many videos I've recorded.
Wow.
Yeah. So I tell myself that the error is there. The person who is listening will listen to the apology and the correction. And of course, I'm
Right.
going to talk about the real thing over and over and over after that mistake. So I'm just like, if I re-record the message, the part of the message that is really needed is going to be taken off, because I'm going to be like, a friend of mine told me once that there was a message that she never ever uploaded because she kept seeing that the message wasn't okay. She would say this and say this and say this, and then she'd be like, the message is not okay. She
Right.
should take it off. Say it and say it and say it, and then, no, it's not okay. This is not looking okay. This, and she never uploaded the video. And I'm like, as you're talking to me, you've not uploaded a video. No, I haven't. I don't even feel like it's still good. I don't even feel like I'm ever gonna upload it. You got to be kidding me, right?
Right.
How starting to go live on YouTube was for me,
Oh
until
wow.
Geo started all those confessions. You can do it. I know you can talk. I know you can really do it well and all that. She started making all those confessions on me, and I'm here today.
Nice. Yeah, well, I'll tell you a little bit about my journey on YouTube. When I first started, for everybody who doesn't know, if it's your first time watching me live or on the replay, I am a very naturally shy person. So when I first
What?
started doing, yeah, I mean, I'm painfully shy. So when I first started doing YouTube, like, I mean, I was like barely talking, like, I mean, mumbling actually. It was like I was doing it because I knew I needed to do it. I was like, hi guys. Yeah, today I have to Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I didn't have the confidence within myself. I knew it was something I had already told myself, I'm going to do this, but I didn't
Yeah,
believe the message that I was speaking. And then after a matter of time, when I was believing in myself, I could see my change in my YouTube. When I watched my past videos, I could tell the video where I started to believe in the message that I was speaking. I could tell because I was
oh
looking at the camera. I'm smiling now, like I'm talking louder, like I was there. And I feel like everybody in their life that they go through that. You may not
yeah,
believe where you're going in your life, but other people may see the potential within you. So until you get to where you're going, just listen, follow the process. You can do it.
yeah, yes.
Follow the
Then
process.
I think the comment section have questions or they have something to say. I can't really see the comments here. They're kind of slow on
Oh,
my end.
okay.
So people in the
It's I see that there's
that
six in the
say,
live stream. So hi everybody. Hi six in the live.
"Wow,
Calvin, Boss Life Online,
wow.
Life with Susie Q, Rochelle the Bayesian stroke survivor,
Oh,
and
that's
I don't know who else. Yeah. Well, welcome
oh,
everybody.
nice,
Thanks
nice,
for being
nice,
here.
nice.
Yeah, I just want to speak for
Okay,
a
Gio
minute.
said so.
Oh, what did Gio say?
When I do a tutorial, that's it. One time. I don't have time to do it three times. When I do a
Yes,
vlog, I don't edit much unless my sister is cursing too much.
right.
Yeah, no. I really admire people who know how to do all this extra editing, you setting up the little mistakes and little errors they make. I really, really admire them
That's
and I
me.
love my heart for them. But yeah, I just the start and the end. I just cut it off and cut it off, like that.
Oh my
It's
goodness, I can't. I think I have Princess, I think I have the 10th child syndrome, right? And I'll tell you what the 10th child syndrome is because my mom always, because there's so many kids, my mom used to line up everybody when it was time for school or wherever we're going. She would look, and like the first kid, she doesn't look that closely. The first, maybe six, seven. But by the time my mom got to me, she was like, "What's that on your nose? What's behind your ears?" I feel like that's taken me
like,
through my whole life. She was always like, by the time she got to me, because I was the last one, it was like, okay, and what is that? And what is that? And where is shoes? And do that and fix that. So I had to learn to pull that back in my personal life and
yeah,
just say, it's okay. It's okay. However, your message is received is how it's received, and just say what you need to say, and it's all right. I had to give myself that type
yeah,
of permission because that's what was
yeah.
holding me back.
You give that provision to people. You deserve it too. You give that provision to people, and it's like most of the times we get to do things for people that we basically don't do for ourselves. I watch a message. I have this amazing people that are inspirational and transformational channels that I go watch them. And there was this one by Jay Shetty. That's the guy's name. He actually brought some girls who were going through like a down moment, a low self-esteem moment, brought them to his live stream and asked them what they think about themselves. You needed to hear what people. I know I was thinking bad about myself, but not that bad. Not that bad.
Mhm.
In levels, I wasn't that bad, But these girls, you needed to hear what they said about themselves. You'll be in awe. And so this is what Jay made them do. Their sisters were on the background, their relatives or whoever they were on the background listening to them. They didn't know their sisters were listening or their relatives were listening. They didn't know. So he made them listen to whatever they said. And one of them, their sister was in awe because she looks at her sister like a role model. She wants to be like the sister and everything. And she was shocked at what the sister thinks of herself, what her sister thinks
Um,
of herself. So, for example, I have my younger sister at the background. She's listening to me. She wants to be like me. She sees me as her role model, her all in all. And then she really wants to be like me. And then she hears what I think of myself. She was shocked to her bones. So they brought their relatives in after a moment and told them to say those things they said about themselves to their sisters. So, for example, I should say to my sister that if I said about myself that I'm ugly, I should say to my sister, "You're ugly." And they were all like, "No, that's impossible. It can't happen." But you're saying it to yourself all the time.
Yeah.
You say good things to people and say bad things to yourself or say bad things about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens. So you're giving life to those things in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So Jay was just trying to tell them to picture themselves as people. You're supposed to love people as yourself, not love people more than yourself. So
Right.
if you are able to say nice things to people, you're able to declare nice things on people. You should be able to declare that. I do the mirror thing. Oh yeah, the mirror thing works for me. I stand on the mirror and I tell myself things like I'm talking to myself. Like, "Princess, you're beautiful. Princess, you're smart. Princess, you can do this." I do that.
Mm-hmm.
Not like all the time, but I do it. Sometimes I stand somewhere and I'm talking to myself. I talk to myself. "Princess, you can do this. You're good at this. Stop feeling that way. It's not right. That's not you." I
Right.
talk to myself. It's a conscious thing. You have to do it consciously. Nobody's saying it's easy. Nobody
Yes.
told me the
I
road is going to be easy,
I call
but
I
you
call
can
it
do
I call it speaking life and breath into yourself. That's what I
it.
had to do.
Yeah.
I had to learn to declare life over my life and breath over my life. That's part of why I say just breathe it, because I felt like I was always taking in the toxicity, the poison from other
Oh,
people, that I had to learn to breathe that out and take in the positive energy and the good results and good thinking about myself and other people. I had to. You have to believe that
that's
you're
true.
worthy of a change. You're worthy of everything good. It doesn't matter who is saying things to you, people who are negative. You can't take on other
Yeah,
people's self-esteem and problems into yourself and cause it to block you. You have to believe in your path and your purpose
yeah,
in your life.
that's true. Oh, Gio said, "I'm not a girl that can do a lot of editing like the big channels. Most of them probably pay someone to edit their videos, and they probably." That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And someone else said probably do. Oh yeah. And let's see another person here. Okay, Boza said it's hard work. I heard. I'm still taking time to learn. Not easy. I get used to it. Yeah, you would get used to it at some point. It's now natural to me. I mean, even the days when people look at me physically, they feel like I'm not okay. Whatever comes out from my mouth shocks them all the time. "How are you?" "I'm great." I remember there was a time they were trying to prepare our documents, and it was getting really difficult and challenging. Everybody was already feeling so. I was a little bit stressed on the inside, but I wasn't saying those things. I wasn't saying how I was feeling. I was saying what I wanted continuously till the end, and I got it. I got what I wanted, and in time. I mean, like in the nick of time, we got it. It was looking like I
Right.
was just going to give up on that confession because it wasn't seemingly happening. I mean, it
Right.
happened on the exact last date. I stayed true to my confession till the last day. I said, God is a God of the blink of an eye. So if it's not gotten to the blink of an eye, I'm still holding on to it. And
Right.
it happened on the last day. The documents were made on the last day. I mean, like it's that serious. So when you do it consciously, you may not feel like it. It has nothing to do with feelings. You
Right.
still go ahead and say what you want, not what you're feeling, or not what circumstances around you is saying, or not what people around you are saying. Find your own things and focus on those things, and it would enlarge and materialize. Whatever you focus on, you meditate on, speak
Hmm.
about
It's what you
Gladys and
become.
material. It does. It does.
It
It
is.
really does. I am a product of a product. I say that all the time. I have experienced it. I'm living it. Sometimes I still fail. So it's not like I'm this super pro when I'm talking about it right now, and people are going to be like, well, you've done it for a while, so that's why it's okay with you. No, sometimes I still feel like it. But what helps me now, as opposed to before, is that when I'm in that state, I talk less. I love talking. It's to me, I guess it's a gift. Yeah.
Right.
So when I'm in that state, when I'm feeling down, I consciously do all I can not to talk much, because I know that there might be something that I would say that I won't be able to take back and all that. So I consciously hold myself back from talking.
Right.
That's how I
There's
that's
a
how it
saying.
helps me, because before, oh my God, I would
Yeah.
so give it to you like
There,
and
there's a saying that my dad used to say a long time ago. My dad had a saying, and he used to say, "You have two ears, so that means that you need to listen two times more than you talk."
yeah,
And
that's
that's
exactly.
taken me through my whole life. He said that you need to be listening two times more than you're speaking. So I feel like I always took that on, that listen to the things that you speak about yourself. And it's not always what you verbalize, it's what you think in your mind,
Yeah,
because that's what takes you through your life. Some things that you're saying to yourself unconsciously, are you breaking yourself down? Are you telling yourself, are you setting yourself up to fail before you even start? What are you putting in your
yeah,
mind? Are you speaking that life and breath over your life? Are you speaking as if it already happens? They always say that you need to speak in the future, as you already claim it before you've even done it. You have to
yeah,
speak
because
that over
get
your life
there.
as it's already happened. Like if you want to do something in your life, have you already called yourself that? Say, this is what I'm going to do, and I am this, instead of saying I may, or maybe one day I can be. No, if you believe it and you know that that's what you want to do for your life, you need to claim it over your life and declare it. And not just say, well, maybe, or one day, or I don't know, or I'm not ready. It's that lackadaisical attitude that holds us back. Sometimes are our biggest enemies, and we break
Yeah,
our own selves down. It's not always other people holding us down from that. Sometimes that's our declaration over ourselves, and we have to make a change over our declaration. We have to say, I'm no longer going to speak negatively over my life. I'm only going to speak positively over my life. And whatever happens in my life, okay, situations happen, that's life. But then you move on. You don't stay there in that past. You move forward to your future.
yeah. You are your own rescue. You are your own rescue. It has to start with you. Whatever people are doing outside your life is kind of secondary. It has its own effects and all, but yours is the bigger part. So you really need to do things yourself. You need to start with you. You need to believe it and make those confessions daily. It begins with you. There are no two ways about it. Nobody can just pray it to happen for you when you don't desire it and you don't work towards it. You have a part to play. You have a part to play to make it work. You have a part to play to make it happen in your life. So let's get those confessions started. You can actually write some down and you start saying it to yourself. You write it down. Like I said, I was trying to look my note, my little book that I write every day. I write really amazing things about myself every single day. It's like a whole paragraph. I don't know where that book is. It's like a whole paragraph. And like today, when I started writing it, I had to be flipping the pages to go copy. I'm writing the same thing, but every single day. At some point, I would write it twice in a day. When I
Right.
remember, I write it twice in a day. For the most part, I write it every day. So when I started, I would have to be flipping the page to copy. But today, I can write that entire paragraph. It's almost a page without looking at the other side of the
Oh.
page, down, and it's the exact same thing. So you can imagine how that has become a part of me, so much so that I have it in me that I can write it down without looking at it.
Hmm. I have
Every
I have
single
something that I speak over my life every single day too. I think everybody has,
every
you have to make it
single
your
day.
own.
You need to make it your own. You need to own it. You need
Yeah,
to
you need to
I,
own it.
I you need to own it. You need to love it. You need to, at some point, like when you start, it's like you don't really believe it. You're just doing it. But
Right.
when you start consistently, you're going to start feeling it. You're going to start believing it. For example, um, um, maybe you're, oh yeah, I'm single. I confidently say to myself that I'm a wife and a good thing. I say it all the time
Hmm.
because, of course, I'll eventually get married someday. I'm an
Right.
amazing mother. My kids are awesome. I don't have them yet, but I need to declare those things. Like they
Right.
would be prepared. And by the time I'm getting there, it's all beautiful. And someone is going to like, oh, yeah, this is beautiful. I want what she has. No, you
Hmm.
can't get what I have.
Right.
It was prepared before I got here.
Right.
You have to start
I
making
believe
it
in
now.
declaring things over your future because when you
Yeah.
receive them, then you're going to appreciate them. Whereas if you just feel like, okay, you just walked into something, if you've
Walk
been
into it.
praying for something and speaking it over your life for so many years, you'd be like, oh, I've been waiting for this, and you hold on to it. It's like a prized possession.
Yeah. It's here, and you see that it's here finally. And that's why I can confidently talk about these things, because I know the states where I've been confessing some things and I'm leaving the things right now, and I know that I'm still confessing some things and I'll eventually leave them in the future, so I can tell you confidently that it works. If I had not done it before, I won't be able to sit here and tell you that, oh, this thing works. I won't be able to tell you that, oh, if you do the positive confessions all the time, it's going to work. I mean, my life changed drastically when I started doing
Hmm.
all these things consciously. I confess positive when I'm around people who are negative. If I have the possibility of getting away, I get away. Because someone was asking me at a certain session that I was doing that, what if it's your family member? You can't run away from them. So what do? What if they're bringing all this negativity and everything? What do? You can't run away from them. Just
Hmm.
don't meditate on it, because you have an opportunity. We have billions of thoughts shot to our minds every single day. So why would you decide to dwell on the one that is negative?
Well, one thing that I do, Princess, people in my life who are saying negative things, I actually have told people, if you what you're about to say to me, is it positive? Is it going to encourage me? Is it going to enhance my life? If it not, I don't want to hear it. So I keep saying that over and over again. Is it positive? Is it encouraging? Is it going to motivate me? If not, I don't want to. And I just keep saying it until now they don't even come to me with that foolishness. Because if you, every time they come to you with it, you block it and say, I don't want to hear gossip. I don't want to hear talking about other
You don't
people. I
want
don't
it.
want to hear
You
that,
don't want it.
everything down, 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 and your life is not going to change. If you haven't done something to change your life, I don't want to hear it because your life is not going to change if you don't make changes. So that's
That's
one
what
of the things that I had
campaign.
to do with some family members, that if it's not
Yeah,
going to be
that really works.
positive, I had to pull back from them.
So I'm learning that today. So I kind of use that. I actually do that on social media and on other places, but I'd really not done it with family members. So I think I'm gonna learn that, and I'm gonna start doing it from today.
I
Yeah,
tell
I do
them,
that
and they'll
on
even
social
finish
media.
my statement. They'll say, "Oh, I know what you're going to say. Is it positive? Is it encouraging?" I said, "That's right. You got it." So they don't even come to me
Exactly.
with it anymore.
The
They know
last,
word for
yeah,
word.
the thing I said with greetings the last time, I said I used to say far above principalities and powers, and then at some point they started finishing it for me. Sometimes when they greet me, they just say it as well: far above principalities and powers that in heavenly places. We know that's where you are, things like
Right.
that. So what I used to do is I tell people things like, you share something. And you would share the thing and tell me that it's really negative, that it's really bad, like this thing is really crazy. And I'm like, you watched it or you read it and you felt hurt, you felt bad. Why do you also want me to feel the pain?
Right.
Because that's exactly what you're doing. If you read it, you felt the pain, or you watched it, you felt the pain. Why are you sharing it? It's not positive. It's not honest. It's not true. It's not helpful. It doesn't change me positively. Why are you sharing it? Yes, you
Mm.
can talk about it. So maybe you can say, "Oh my God, I saw a case of a child that was abused, or a child that was something like that. Can we pray for the child, or can we help the child?" You don't need to send me the picture as well.
Right.
Yeah, we are just so in the generation of click, pop, share.
Mhm.
You just hit the share button, share. You don't even
Right.
think. You're making negativity go viral. So stop it. I said, if anything negative reaches me, it ends there. It's not going to go viral because I'm not going to share it. My friends know me for that. I'm
Right.
not going to click on it. I'm not going to share it. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to react to it. It ends there. The process of it going around ends with me. When it gets to me, if I was supposed to have been the person who will share it to the next 2 million people, then 2 million people are not going to see it, because it's not
Right.
helping. It's not adding anything positive. It's not helpful. It's not, sometimes it's not even true. It's just
Yeah.
rumor about the person, and you've already shared it, and you can't take it back. You
Hmm.
can't take it back. That's what people fail to understand. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. You didn't even check it out. You just saw share and you
Yeah.
shared. That is a big YouTuber who said it, or it's a popular person who said it, doesn't necessarily make it true. It doesn't necessarily make it true. And if it's negativity, why are you even sharing negativity out?
Right.
If it's a negative thing, why are you even sharing it out?
I
Let the
always
person
I
find
always say
whatever you.
if it does not make somebody feel good, if the information that you're sharing, does it make somebody feel good? Does it encourage and motivate the spirit? Is it positive? Does it make you smile? If it doesn't do any of those things, then why would I want to
Don't.
take that into my spirit? I don't want to take that into
Don't.
my spirit.
So I learned that one. Family, I'm gonna start using it for family too.
Mhm.
I used to do it
And
on
tell
social
me how
media
it
so much.
goes. Tell me how it goes because initially when I
Definitely,
started,
I'm gonna be definitely.
people they really bucked it. They didn't want to hear it. They were like, "What were you talking about? You've always been listening." I said, "Well, I don't want to hear it anymore." That's when I just started going to
Yeah,
therapy.
I
I
know.
started telling them that is it this what you're about to tell me? Is this positive? And they're like, "No, but." I said, "Then no, but." That's the end.
No, but no, but
Yeah, I said, is it positive?
I don't
Is
want
it
to hear it.
encouraging? Is it going to motivate me? Is it spiritually enriching? If I don't want to hear it, then that I just
Yeah,
block that off.
that's how gossip starts. And then you're saying things that you didn't intend to say, you were not planning to say, you were not ready to say. And then you chip into the conversation, either this or that. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I
Yeah,
think. I
and then
think.
you become
And then
part of something bigger than yourself.
going to be exactly what you said. That's another problem about things you say to some other person, which is not the person who is carrying the information. And people who always talk about others to you will always talk about you to others.
Right.
That's just normal.
That's
So
one
as you're
that's
there
one
looking at
thing, princess, that I have a hard time with.
yeah, you know,
I have a hard
as
time
people are talking,
when somebody says something about somebody else, I have a hard time trusting them because I'm like, listen, if you were talking about somebody else, then that means that you're going to talk about me. It shows
it's
a
obvious.
person's character, you know? I
Yeah,
have a hard time trusting somebody once I hear somebody saying something really nasty or negative. And another part of that, I think, is my age, walking into
yeah,
maturity, as I call it. And I feel like it's so, I don't know. I just feel like it has the person. Have you talked to that person about what you want to say? Because a lot of times when something comes to you, you automatically vent. I said, have you talked
yeah.
to the person that you're upset with first? You know? until, because even the Bible says that if you have something against somebody, you need to go and, you know,
The
fix
person
it with just
fix it.
with that person first. Okay. Then if you try to talk to that person and they don't want to hear it, then you go to somebody else and say, hey, can you help me with
That's
this
something
problem?
different.
Then that's different. But I don't want to hear something if somebody is just venting. What have you done to try to fix the problem?
To
Just like
fix it.
Boss Like Online says all the time, what have you added to the problem? Because sometimes, whether we know it or not, we've added to something. You
Mhm.
can't give other people all the blame. All of us have
Yeah,
a role to play in it. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we have no role to play, but sometimes we're a part of the problem too. So we have to be honest. Okay, what role did I play in this?
yeah.
Mhm.
That's so true. You need to take responsibilities for the part you play in the whole thing to happen. Yeah. Sometimes you might actually be not guilty, but like they say, for peace sakes, fix it. You
Right.
can fix it. You can fix it. Sometimes it has to do with people's perspectives and all that. And that's why, more or less, you need to get to the person first. Because maybe I've been someone who has grown in an environment where something might be okay because no one corrected me. No one told me this was wrong. No one told me doing it this way is not right. So I grow up with part of it. And then when I get to do it now to some other person who was grown in an environment that was corrected every time they did that kind of thing, you can't just automatically expect me to know this thing is wrong because you believe it's wrong. You can't just expect me to know that automatically. I have grown up in a place where that thing doesn't seem wrong. I'm talking about like mild cases here because I know there's serious things that every single human being is supposed to know this is wrong. It's wrong. But there are some things that you grew up seeing people doing it and nobody said it was wrong. Nobody thought it was bad. And now you're doing it to me. And then I'm like, don't you know this is not okay? The person might not even know that it's not okay because they've not grown up knowing that that thing is not okay, you know. So you need to give people that opportunity to be able to express themselves and say I didn't know this was wrong. And there's some people that are going to be unapologetic about it because they have lived it for all their lives so much so that they don't even think it's wrong. So even when you tell them it's wrong, they don't see it as wrong until they come to the side where you are. You know the story of the 6 and the 9? If I'm standing in the north and you're standing in the south and they put a 6, you're going to see it as a 9 and I'm going to see it as a 6, as long as we keep standing in the north and in the south
Right.
up until we both are standing in the north or we both are standing in the south, we are all right. It's a
Hmm.
6. I'll be in the south and I'm screaming, it's a 6. You'll be in the north and you're screaming, I said it's a 9. We all are correct. It's just where we're standing, our viewpoints. And our view, the way we view things, our perspectives has a lot with our environment, the things we watch, the books we read, the everything that surrounds us. It has a lot to do with our perspective. So sometimes the reason why you need to get to that person first is because their perspective, their way of seeing it, their upbringing might be different, totally different from yours. So they don't really see this thing as a problem. So even when you're trying to tell them how you feel about what they did to you and you feel it's not okay, you feel it's not right, also give that opening for them to be able to understand them that this might not be where they're coming from. This might not be what they believe in. This might not be what they've learned so far.
Right.
Unlearning is not as easy as learning a new thing entirely. Believe you me.
Right.
When you
And I and
slowly
I
learn
and I
and you have
always
to get up to get the new thing, it's hard work. It's harder than just learning something new from the
right.
start. So sometimes
I
it gets
go
to,
ahead. Oh, and
yeah,
I always say all the time that it's, you have to let people be entitled to their own opinion. Because I think
Sure.
basically some people think that whatever they think that that's the only opinion that counts, and that's not true. That's not a mature course. That's not a wise course. That's not an enlightened course. You have to give people freedom to be themselves, freedom to have varying opinions. That sometimes you meet in the middle, sometimes you may never agree, and you have to learn that sometimes you have to agree to disagree, that this is where I
Yeah.
stand, this is where you stand, and it's okay. You don't have to move people from their way of thinking, and they don't have to come to yours. But what one thing that will cause you to get along with others is that I respect your opinion while I don't agree with it, and you respect mine while you don't agree with it.
Yeah. And the society today, that is one hard one because everybody just feels like it's me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. I want this. This is the way I want it. This is the way I want it done. This is the way it should be done. This is the way. This is the right way. It's my way or no way.
Right.
It's not easy to live like that.
Yeah. And
It
it's not
starts
it's
making
not it's not easy to humble yourself and to concede.
you know it's but you we have to get to a place where we can actually compromise. We can actually come to, okay, yeah, I understand that this is how you see it. I understand that this is what you believe in, or this is what you stand for. This is what I also stand for. I respect yours as much as I don't agree with it. Agreeing to
Mhm.
disagree is a hard one in our generation,
Yes.
that I know for, because
Yes.
it seems like everybody, knowledge is all over the place. Some people are knowledge overwhelmed, some people are knowledge constipated, so they just believe like they know it all. So when you're trying to give your opinion on a subject, it's like, no, no, who are you and what are you even saying, you know
Right.
which is sad. It's
Yeah,
really sad
it's
because
bad.
I started doing the 6 and 9 thing. I'm like, yeah, everybody's right in their own right because of where they're standing.
Mhm.
One person is seeing 6, and it's true, it's a 6, but you are standing the other way, so you're seeing a 9. It's true, it's a 9. But can we come to
Right.
a new ground? Can we come to a place where, okay, we need to move on, we need to get this done, we need to get this done and dusted, so we have to get to this place? There are no two people that are going to see something exactly the same
Right.
way, because we're unique human beings. Even identical twins don't see it like that. I watched
Mhm.
a certain documentary where there were twins, conjoined twins actually. They had different goals, different aspirations. They were conjoined twins. That's serious. They had different goals, different aspirations. They had different ways of looking at life. They have different ways of thinking. Then you can imagine you as an individual, single person. These were conjoined twins. They stuck together, but they had different heads and stuff like that. And they had different aspirations in one body. Then
Yeah.
imagine you, an individual. Of course, people have their opinions, and we need to respect people's opinions. We need to get to that place where we respect people's opinions, except it's negatively affecting you, which has to be you getting off. So getting off, that's a different thing entirely. But if
Right.
it's not affecting you negatively and you can manage it, you can be able to bear with the situation or the thing that is supposed to happen for that decision to be made or for you all to move forward, then you can be able to bear with it. You can be able to cut the person some slack. Yeah, that is
Right.
allowed.
Mhm. I think that's a part of growing up and maturing, is that you have to learn to concede. You have to learn when to say when something is going to be good for you and when it's not. If it's within your limits, that you can let the person win just for it to have peace, you know? I just say
For peace
some
sake,
things
I
are
love my
not worth some things are not worth your peace. Just let them win if it's not a big
I,
deal.
I always say that I love my peace. So for peace sakes, I'm like, okay, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I understand. I understand. Just take it that way. Just it's okay to understand it that way. That's fine. Because sometimes no matter how much you explain yourself, some people are just not going to get it. There are several reasons for why people will not get it. They've made up their mind they're not going to get it because they don't want it that way. They want it their way. Sometimes it's because the people truly don't understand. And yes, some people will not understand because that vision was given to you by God. So only you can understand it.
There you
And when you
go.
don't, ask God, not man. Because man will have their opinion about what that is and what it should be. But when you keep explaining and explaining and explaining, the person will want you to do it their way, not God's way, not the way God wants it to happen. And of course, God is not going to be asking you, oh, why didn't you do this? And then you tell him that, no, maybe because Rochelle said, no, 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 no. It's not Rochelle who gave you the vision. Rochelle is not going to understand what is going on because she is not the vision bearer. So go
Right,
ahead. When she sees the vision manifesting, if she's supposed to be part of it, she will run with it. But stop
right,
imposing and insisting on people to understand your vision. Maybe you're just supposed to run with it yourself for the
right.
meantime.
I think
Like,
sometimes I think those things hold us back sometimes that I don't know. I don't know if it's just me personally or as many people who have my line of thinking, but sometimes like when you have a good thought, something good, something positive, and you want to share with other people and say, isn't this amazing? And then they don't accept it and they don't receive it because we don't understand sometimes that vision and that response, that entitlement, what you've been given, it was not given to them, it was given to you. And sometimes that's hard to
yeah,
comprehend because we want people to say, isn't this amazing? Like you want people to be on your higher elevation. You want people, it's like,
yeah.
this is incredible. This is amazing. This is so amazing. How can you not? Come on. You got to believe this. And they're like, no, I don't believe it. You'd be like, what?
Nobody believes. Like, yeah, that happens sometimes too. And when I got an understanding of it when I saw the message of everybody has a perspective, everybody has a way of seeing things, and there are some things that are just meant for you to do. And if that person is supposed to be part of it for real, like for real, because the truth is sometimes we want to carry people along. Boss Life Online is the kind of person who carries everybody along. She really
Mhm.
has the grace. Like she carries every single person along, even the ones that sometimes I'm looking at myself, I'm like, I can't bear this. She is still carrying that person along. So she has the yeah, she has the grace to do that. So sometimes it's just that we want some particular people to be in our lives when they're not supposed to be there. If we're sincere to ourselves, we know we have some of those people in our lives that we know are not supposed to be in our lives with everything that they do and say, but we just seemingly want them there.
Mhm.
So we
I
keep
had
trying
a
connect to
person.
the people or get to be there, and it's not working, and it's frustrating. And then we
Mhm.
start feeling bad about ourselves. We start feeling like maybe I'm not explaining it right. Maybe this is not even the right vision. Maybe it's not even going to work. Trust me, there are some people that you explain that vision to, they're going to tell you with a straight face it's not possible, and the next minute you're going to find them doing it. I've
Right.
had those kinds of in my life
Mhm.
a number
Yeah,
of times.
they're basically saying that it's not for you because they feel like it's something impossible for you to do because you don't have the ability to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do it because I'm better and smarter. I've had that before happen.
I
Oh no.
know.
I said, oh dear, no, not you. Not you, dear. Step back. I'm gonna show you how it's done. I'm like, oh really? So that's why you have to be careful who you share your dreams and your visions with, because not everybody mean good for you. That smile in your face. Those are the people who are your biggest enemies and backstabbers that they just come to take from you. I call them those kind of people emotional, spiritual, and physical vampires. They're just there to take from you, but they
Yeah.
never feed and give breath and life into your life. They're always a taker.
And we really know those people. So it's our job. Like all of this. It's about you. It begins with you. You have to start loving yourself so much to know that this person shouldn't be in my space because the person is draining me. You need to know that and tell yourself that you deserve to let go of the person. Because sometimes
Oh
we
yeah.
just like, you start, oh, this person, we've been friends for like forever, from 19 whatever till today. So I can't just let go. You have to let go. You have to let
Mhm.
it go. Sometimes there are people that are not just going to come to your life because some people are filling their space. You have to
Right.
come to the point you need to let go. And if you don't let go, you can't even progress yourself. Aside from the people that need to come to your life that are going to build you, that are going to help you to grow and all that, you will be stagnant. Because when the person tells you that, oh, this can't work, you won't do it. Probably
Mhm.
because you hold that person toward dear, because the person is a very close person to you. So you're not doing it. And you're stopping your life because some other person's opinion
Right.
counts or matters more to you.
Right.
We all
And I feel like
need
I feel like it's so important to understand that people who come into your life, that everybody who comes into your life, they're seasonal people. Some people are there to stay in your life for
yeah,
your entire life. That is the season of their life. Most of the time those are like your parents or other essential people in your life. They're there to stay. Then you have people who are only there for a short season, that they just came to teach you lessons, or they came to give you a vision. And then when that job is done, say, okay,
yeah,
you have it, then they move on, but you want them to stay. But you have to understand that some people, they're not there to be there for your entire life. They're there just for that moment or a season, or to give you a talent or to teach you something. And then when that has been fulfilled, it's time to move on.
yeah. That's me. It's so hard for me to let go because I'm kind of the person that when I make friends with people, I really make friends. I'm
Mm.
not casual about anything I do. I always say to my friends, I love to do things. I don't love to try things
Ah,
because I know that trying has this tendency of if it gets hard, you can leave it. You are just trying. But when I've said I'm
mm,
going to do this thing, I get to the end of it. Even if I have to fail eventually, I would get to the end of it. If there are obstacles, if there are difficulties, I will keep at it because I said I was going to do it. But
right.
if I said I was going to try, I have this relaxed, nonchalant attitude about the thing. And if I get to a little obstacle, well, I said I'll try. I've tried and it's not
Mhm.
working. Meanwhile, that thing might be the thing that you really need to get through to say, oh, yes, I did this. But because I just said I try. So that's my slogan. I do things, I don't try things, you know.
Okay.
So it gets to the point where people are just like, well, if she says I should try, I'll try. If she says I should do it, I'll do it. So it's like they've handed over their entire lives to this seasonal person. So I'm the kind of person that when I've made friends with someone, it feels like we're really, really like there's that bond. So when the season of their life is over, it feels like you're ripping my heart apart if you have to go. It's
Right.
it
See,
really gets hard
I
for
don't
me
know.
to let go.
I think I think being the youngest out of so many brothers and sisters, I'm all used to change is not hard for me. My thing is
Oh yeah.
sticking with something. Change is not hard for me. It's when I do something and then circumstances come up that I wasn't ready for, because we all know that you start doing something and then something happens that you weren't expecting, and then that's when I get stuck, like, okay, now what do I do? That's the hard
Yeah.
part for me.
Okay.
It's like when you hit a
Interesting.
roadblock in your life, overcoming roadblocks is hardest for me.
Mine is letting go. Letting go, especially of friends. It's
Mm.
like a big thing for me. I wish there's someone who knows what is supposed to be done about it. Wait, that's a cop right here.
Yeah.
I thought this was late. No, I'm actually in the morning, Rochelle. It's morning for me.
Yeah, it's morning for her.
So that's the hard part. The hard part for me is letting go of friends, people, especially if you did something great in my life. Because when we're talking about people who come to your life for a season, it's not only people who come to your life and then do negative things and then they have to leave. No, even people who do positive things in your life also have a time frame. Some of them have a time frame. Some can be there for the rest of your life, as from when they met you to the rest of your life. But some are also just for a season.
Right.
Number of
And
people
you
like
know,
that.
I feel
You
like
basically do not have
I
to
also have come to a
our
point in my
separate
life.
ways.
Yeah, I feel like I've come to a point in my life also where I appreciate the people now who have hurt me, or I have hurt them, vice versa. I appreciate people who have taught me a lesson. Sometimes when we get a lesson in the beginning, you rebel from it, but sometimes there's something that you need to learn. And when you've
Yeah,
done wrong, you need to step back and take accountability for what you've done and then to make a change. I feel like that is so hard to accept when you've done wrong, in your life, to
yeah,
accept your own humanness, your own imperfection. But we hurt other
true.
people. We do wrong, but we have, and that's what I
We
was
do.
talking about that last week about forgiving not only yourself but forgiving others too.
Yeah. Wow. Forgiveness is one really hard one too.
Yeah, really
Whereas
hard.
for that, for pains and hurt, I easily let go. I don't really know how. I thank God for it. I guess it's some miracle thing or something. I kind of
Mhm.
easily let go pain and all, but letting go friends, it is
Mhm.
hard. It is
Well,
hard. Like it's
I can I give you some advice for that?
yeah. Please, please, please. I need
Okay.
it.
So for me, when if it's something beneficial, like somebody, they have a new job, they're moving, you have to look at it as the blessing. Say, I'm letting them go. I'm giving them their wings for them to fly. That's how somebody gave me that perspective on it. If you can see that by moving apart
Wow.
from you, now you have to give that person their freedom and their wings so that they can progress and they can fly. That's how I look
Yeah.
at it when a person is moving on, because not all the time you move on together with somebody. That person was just a person to come in your life, and now that either you taught them or they taught you something, and now you have your wings for them or you to move on. And also vice versa, sometimes you are removed from somebody's life because of something that you did. But you have to learn that you need to learn something. You need to grow in some aspect of your life. You need to learn something. You need to mature and do something. So that's how what makes it easier when you can see the results. Either you're going to be benefiting yourself or you're going to be benefiting them. That's how you can let it go. Don't take it in the fact that I need them. Sometimes you have to let somebody go so that they can flourish.
I love that. I didn't
Mhm.
see it that way. Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Uh, two
That's
things
what
I
I've
like.
learned in the past maybe year or so. I went through a situation, and that's what I took from it, that I was let go because of something that I did, because I needed to grow up and I needed to learn something. And I'm glad that it happened because it brought me through a situation where I needed to mature. I needed to put in some work. I needed to stop doing some practices that wasn't good. So I feel like if they didn't let me go, I would have continued in those habits. You know what I mean?
That's I get
So
that.
I
I
feel
get
like that takes maturity sometimes, that people have to let you go because you're hurting them, or vice versa, or they have to let you go because this is as far as they can go with you. Now it's time for you to do what you need to do, and they need to do what they need to do.
Saying that, I already have a number of people in my head. Like, you see this. It's like a scream boy, and you're
Right.
like, oh, see this relates. That statement max with this. That statement max with this. Something like that. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes we really have to grow, and when we're growing, we can be in a particular space with a particular person. That one has been hard for me. This would really help me. Having a
Right.
perspective around it. That's what
Right.
I said in life. Generally, you need to have a why for everything, because when you have a why, it's easier for you to see things better, to be objective about things, not just subjective, which is just about you, but to be objective. Oh, yes, this person also needs to grow. Maybe I'm in that space. Maybe I'm also holding them back. So that's a sweet
Right.
perspective that I'll
Sometimes,
hardly ever look at,
you,
because I'm always
right.
up,
Sometimes you're
you know,
holding,
like,
they're holding you back, but other times you're
yeah,
holding them back because it depends on where you are in your life. You can be the person that
yeah,
you need some freedom so that you can fly. So you have to let them go so that you can spread your wings. But other times you may be holding somebody back from their progression. So they
yeah.
have to let you go so they can fly. So that's how you have to look at it. Either way, it's going to be growth
I really
on both sides.
Yeah,
So that's how
growth.
I look at it. So sometimes it hurts because you don't want to let go of that person, but you have to say either I take it as a lesson or a blessing. Yeah.
I choose the latter.
Yeah.
Blessing.
Yeah. I'd rather as a blessing, but
Oh,
sometimes we need to learn lessons too.
yeah. Oh my God. That was just like wow. So I've learned two things today. If it's not good, if it's not lovely, please just
Yep.
don't. And of course, living your life are lessons and blessings. So
Yep.
yeah, lessons and blessings. I'll
Yeah.
I'll bring the testimony back to you today.
Yes, I can't wait to hear all about it. So the next time we do a collaboration, we can do an update. We can talk
Yeah,
about some
updates on
updates.
what we
Yeah.
learned from the last one and what we've put in place and how it has worked for us. Yeah, so
Yeah.
positive confession go to yourself, to people, but the most important, it has to begin with you. First, you
Right.
believe it in your heart of hearts, and then you speak it out. Speak it out. I did a message sometime about positivity, like, yes, you're going to have some people around you. You're going to have people like maybe colleagues, friends, or people that don't seemingly deserve your positivity. But hey, you look pretty today. Hope you're good. I wish you all the best.
Mm-hmm.
I heard a story somewhere where a guy said he was so mad at somebody. The person hurt him so much. He was so mad at the person. So even after he gave his life to Christ, he still felt like he was still mad at the person. He was still very angry. Then he got this inspiration that each time he thinks about that person, he should not meditate on the anger. He should rather pray for, was it China or India, something like that.
Yeah.
And
I
when he
don't
did that
know.
for a couple of weeks, when he did that for a couple of weeks, their their feeling came up. It was out. Like, he was not just thinking about the person and not thinking bad. He wasn't even thinking about the person at all. So you can
Right.
imagine that. Like, so you think of that person that got you hurt, when you think of that person that annoy you, maybe pray for them or say something good about them.
Right.
The enemy doesn't want that, of course.
Right.
He's going to take the picture off your mind, you know.
Right.
But when you're dwelling on anger, when you're dwelling on the bitterness, when you're dwelling on the pain and everything, yeah, the enemy likes you to dwell on that. So he's going to keep you on one spot. So he's going to keep you in the unforgiveness, in the grudge bearing and everything. But when you start
Mm-hmm.
doing something good about it, when you start looking for a good opportunity in it, or goodness in it, you start confessing great things about it, it works. Like, I think just recently there was a friend of mine that did something very funny. I wasn't very happy about it. And each time I think about how I was thinking, like, what should I do to make this person know I really felt bad about this thing? Like, I'd explained it to her and she didn't seem like she was going to take it, you know. So each time I think about it, I'm like, okay, just pray for her, you know, just pray for her. I don't even think about her anymore.
Right.
Oh Lord, bless her. Lord, open doors for her. Lord, I know, like in my heart of hearts, I don't feel like this, but that's what I want you to do for her. You know, it really works. It really works.
Right.
It begins with, look at it at your own end. There was a time as well in my life where, you know, like my sisters were kind of the same, were kind of the same size, the same like height range and everything. So our things like kind of fit each other. I don't have a problem with us exchanging our stuff and all that, but I have a problem with using the stuff and not keeping them clean or neat after you're done. Because what if when I want to come and get it, in my mind I know it's clean and then I'm coming to get it and it's not clean. And I kept getting mad at them, grumbling, shouting, getting irritated and everything. But it was the lesson I was supposed to learn. And up until I learned the lesson, it didn't stop. So like when I calmed down and I came to the place of, what lesson do you want me to learn, God? And he said, you become too attached to material things. So I want you to let it go. Like,
Mm-hmm.
huh? So they were using those things and getting me irritated like that just for me to stop being attached to material things. Yeah. If you're not too attached to it, you're not going to get that angry about it.
Right. I feel like
Yeah.
there's always a lesson or a blessing that you can take from any situation.
Yeah.
It's really a choice. Sometimes we don't want to learn that a lesson can be a blessing because we're not ready to receive
Mhm.
it. But
Yeah.
it's also not fair to hold somebody captive into being your friend or being around you if they don't want to, or it's causing them to be down. You want people,
Yeah.
everybody in life who just wants to be happy. So gotta make, each person has to be happy in their own rights.
Yeah. So now what I do most of the times is when there's an issue, when a scenario comes, I when I check and I know I've not really done anything crazy or anything to trigger the situation, I just go up in there and say, God, what do you want me to learn? And it gets easier. My life has been simpler, not so much of drama like before. I'm blaming the person, like you said, what is your part in it? Sometimes you might not have a part in it, but God is not going to come from heaven and teach you a lesson. If you say you want to be patient, God is not going to come from heaven, or He's not just going to give you a cup of patience to drink. He's going to make people get you be in that position where you would have to practice patience.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to make people delay you a lot. And when in the delay, you're not angry, you're not irritated, you're not you're not enraged, then you know patience is being worked in your life. So you're
Right.
not just going to drink patience. Right. And he's going to use people around you. And for the most part, it's always going to be people that are closest to you. Because
Mm-hmm.
that's what really gets the message across for the most part. With me, I don't know about other people, but with me, most of the times, God really uses the people that are closest to me to make me learn hard lessons. Because it's
Right.
like, if He does it with someone who is just an acquaintance or someone who is just casual, you know, I can easily let go of that. That's just an acquaintance, you know. But when it's someone that is close to me, because I want this relationship to be fixed or to be repaired, I'm going to sit back and listen and carefully think and carefully meditate. So most of the time, what I just do is, Lord, what's the lesson you want me to learn? And when I do that, for the most part, I easily get through the situation. Um, should I say I get through it faster or
Right.
quicker than when I was complaining and grumbling and blaming every other person apart from myself. It got better. It got way better. That has happened for a couple of years now, and it's really beautiful. Each time I just turn and look at myself, I'm like, God, what lesson do you want me to learn? And
Right.
when I get the lesson, boom, that's it. Because if you don't learn the lesson, it's gonna keep repeating. I know that
Right.
because it has happened to me several. You
Mm-hmm.
you
Until
when
you
you
get it, until you get it, it's going to keep
never
coming
practice
back because you need to learn it.
yeah, have to pass the exams of that class to go to the next class. You would have to pass the exams of the previous class to get a promotion to the next class. And in my country, if you don't pass the exams, you're going to keep repeating that class. So it's going to keep coming in
Keep you
different ways,
down.
in different areas, until you get it right, and then you get to move to the next level. So sometimes it's just like you said, it's really a lesson or a blessing. Most times we just want it to be a total blessing, but the lesson sometimes precedes the blessing. So you would
Right,
see that lesson, you learn it, then you're eventually going to see the blessing that that lesson brings.
right.
God is preparing us to trust the process. While we're
Trust
at
the
it, we should
process.
keep it for
Yep. We have to we have to we have to
wow.
really keep positive, but it's hard to keep positive depending on where we are in our life, but we just have to trust that where we are in our
Oh,
lives is
yeah.
exactly where we need to be.
That's true. Who said someone said something? Bozo. Wow, great words of inspiration in the life. Thank you. Adriana says
Yes.
true. I don't know what she was saying that for. And thank you, Calvin. Oh, that was you saying. She sure is very awesome. Have a great night and morning. Thank you, Adriana. And say, Princess loves to smile. She's truly been a Thank you so much, bestie of life, Bozo Kevin Jr. Thank you, people, for
Yes.
your amazing comment. Of course,
Yeah.
just like we said, I'm definitely feedback or my testimony. I always call
Yes, I
feedback
can't wait to
testimony.
hear. I think we should do a maybe a 6 month update. See how, where
Yeah,
you
six
are
months
in
update.
6 months. So now is October,
Sure.
November, December, January, February, March. So April,
Yeah.
I'll see where
So
you are in
April was,
April.
you know,
Hmm.
okay.
I'll see where you are in April. And the same for me.
Learning.
Some of the words that you gave to me
Sure.
today, it's affected me. So we'll do an update and talk about that on the next time we collaborate.
Okay, and so much more. This thing, for the records, you're going to be my accountability partner. So within the months before we get there, when something happens, I'm going to come and
Yes,
give you the
I'm
rundown.
always
Like, oh
available.
yeah,
You have my email, you have my
yeah,
Instagram, all of it.
sure.
Feel free to contact
So
me.
about my progress, and then in the end, we're going to tell everybody how it went.
Can't wait. I can't wait to hear. And I just want to thank everybody who was here today, because I
Yeah,
know this
thank
is a change of time. It's a little bit later on my side. It's earlier for your side, but it's later for people
you.
who are on Eastern. So I know Edwana had to go, and I don't know who else had to live. I think Lala was at work. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody who
Oh,
took some
thank you.
time out to be here for the live stream and to listen. And I hope that this benefited you in some way. This discussion about um, being a blessing. Be a blessing to yourself. It's all about what you speak about your life. What you speak over your life is so important to have positive affirmations about yourself. So I thank Princess
Yeah.
for coming on the show today.
Thank you for bringing me on, and thank you to everybody
Yes,
who was in the live. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate it. You could be anywhere else, but you're here. Thank
yes.
you.
Can you tell people about your channel and when you upload and go live?
Oh yeah, I actually upload every Tuesdays. That's my main video every Tuesday. As I'm still battling with the time, like the exact time, but every Tuesday I upload every Tuesday, and then when it has to be shout outs, I upload any day of the week when I'm shouting out channels, and then I do drop the link day. There's a team of 7. I do drop the link day every Saturday. So we had one
Yes,
yesterday. I'm
yes,
because I'm in Sunday. So you guys are still on Saturday.
yeah. I'm still on
So
Saturday.
a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do drop the link there. That's where we help people grow their channels. We help people get immediate results, not getting spam comments and spam subscriptions and all that. So we help people
Okay.
like that. And my channel is about inspirations, lifestyle, vlogs, tutorials, and more. Get there.
Yeah.
You love it there.
Yes, I love when you do. I'm requesting more things about Thailand. I would like to see like some like showing us Thailand, like do some vlogs like showing us different places in Thailand. I would like to see like how the
Definitely.
countryside wherever you are. I want to see things because somebody like me, I don't think I'm ever going to make it to Thailand, but I would like to see it at the same time.
I know. Okay. Noted. I'll definitely take that. I'll do some more vlogs about where I
Okay.
am and different places. And we're definitely gonna do that. Most we're supposed to do that like this season because normally we kind of have long holidays. We kind of have long holidays that could go like a month or a month and some weeks and stuff like that. But with the pandemic, I don't even think we're gonna have a holiday this time. But the few days I'll
Yeah.
have, maybe like some weeks, I'll try to take some videos around the place and all that. So travels were banned. We had to go to, like, they say, I've not seen it yet, but pictures, I think it is. The most beautiful place in Thailand is Phuket. And we're supposed to go there for holidays until this pandemic happened. So
Right.
it's all good.
Yeah, it's all
Maybe
good.
as for a better experience. That's
Mhm.
why this happened. So that we can go there the next time. And yes, I can go
Right.
live on my phone now. So that's good, right?
That's a
Then
good
I couldn't.
thing. That's a good
Then
thing.
I couldn't. But now I can. So that's a good thing. It all works for good, right?
Yes, it all
Yeah.
works
So
for good.
I'll take that and I'll do a lot of vlogs about beautiful places in Thailand. And they are
Okay.
beautiful places here.
Yay. I'm so happy to hear that. I'll be looking forward to that content. And then I'm gonna be in the comment section like I requested, that was my request.
And I'm pretty sure most of the videos that was your request. Definitely.
Yes. I thank you so much for your inspiration, your encouragement, your personal truth and testimony here. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Oh, you're
Yeah.
speaking Thai, Evan Junior. Thank you so
Oh,
much, Michelle. Love you.
yeah. Alvandi
Thank
just came
you.
in. I'm about
Oh
to.
yeah, Bundy just came in.
Yeah, he just came in, but that's what I'm about. I'm about to end, Vondi. Yeah.
Thank you
So
for
thank
coming, Bundy.
you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. Thanks to everybody who was here in the live stream today. And for those who watched this replay, let me know down in the comments section what was your favorite thing that you learned or something that you took from this talk show that you want to talk about further. Let me know down in the comment section below too. So thank you, Princess,
Yeah, I have
for your
my
time.
let in the comments.
Yes.
Oh, passe une bonne journée. Merci beaucoup. Faites de beaux rêves et bonne nuit à tous. Bonjour,
Oh, parlez-vous en français?
Oui, je parle français. Nous sommes
Ah,
bilingues.
un peu.
Tu parles français aussi. Mozo, did you see that? Oh my God. She speaks French too. Bonne
Un
nuit,
peu.
chérie.
Well,
Oh,
thank
de
you. Thank
beaux
you so much
rêves.
for being a part of the show. Good night. Good.
Thank
Well,
you
it's
for
good
bringing
night
me
to
on.
me. It's good night to
Yeah,
me.
and a great
So
day.
yeah, it's bon nuit to me. Okay, good
Correct.
night to everybody here. Good morning to you. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thanks everybody. Bye, Princess.
Bye.
Yeah, you guys, please make sure that you head over to her channel if you're not a part of her channel. Watch some of her content and subscribe to her channel if you're liking the content of our discussion today. So thanks, Princess. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next time you're on the panel.
Yeah.
So, guys, so everybody, thank you so much for being a part of the show today. Today's topic was about, just knowing your potential, speaking positive affirmations about yourself, learning to love yourself where you are, and learning to let go of things that you need to let go of. Sometimes we don't want to accept what is the best for us. We don't want to let go of other people in our lives. And we also don't want to be let go of. But it's a process. And in the end, the ultimate end for everybody is everybody just wants to be happy in their life. So their happiness or your happiness is dependent on moving on, speaking life and breath into your life. And like I say all the time, the best life career affirmation is just know it, just breathe it and be it and live your best life. It's so important to just be who you're supposed to be, walking your path, be who you're supposed to be, not only believing it up here, but radiating it into the atmosphere and to be the most positive person that you can be. Forgive, let go, move on, and be happy. So that's it, guys. Thanks everybody who is here for the stream. I appreciate you guys. And for those who watch the replay, thank you. Let me know down in the comment section below anything that you gleaned from this discussion today. Thanks to everybody who was here, Boss Life Online, Calvin, Susie Q, Edwana, and of course my co-host, Princess Cli&Mils TV. So thanks everybody, Rochelle, Leave It to Lala, and anybody who watches the replay. Thank you so much. I hope this message has blessed you, encouraged you, and it will motivate you to further progress in your life. Continue to be positive and keep your head up. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.